The mirror had a crack right down the middle. Not a small one. A long, quiet fracture that split every reflection in two. And so one evening, without telling anyone, she turned herself toward the wall. She had not planned it. She had not announced it. She simply turned and stayed there, in the quiet, with her crack facing the stone, and her golden light facing no one. She had lived in that old cottage for years, between a painting of faraway mountains and a window that caught the morning light. People used to stop in front of her. They used to lean in close and smile at what they saw. There was a time when she loved that. A time when she believed she was useful, that she held something worth seeing. But that was before the crack. Now they walked past without looking, and the ones who did glance toward her turned quickly away, as if her broken reflection was something too uncomfortable to carry. She understood. She did not blame them. A cracked mirror shows a divided face, and nobody wants to see themselves divided. So she turned away first before they could. The other mirrors in the hallway whispered, the way beautiful things sometimes do when they are afraid something broken might be contagious. You show them something wrong, they said very quietly. You confuse them. You make them feel unsettled. You are doing more harm than good simply by being there. And the old cracked mirror believed every single word, because when you hear the same thing enough times in the dark, it begins to sound like truth. Days passed, then weeks. The house grew quieter. Autumn came. Leaves pressed themselves against the rain-covered window. The candle beside her burned down to nothing and was not replaced. And the crack did not heal, because cracks rarely do. But the tiny golden light inside it stayed. It waited, the way patient things do, in the silence and the shadow, holding itself for a moment that had not yet arrived. One morning, a small girl wandered into the cottage room. She had been crying. Not loudly. The quiet kind of crying that comes from feeling like you are too much and not enough all at the same time. The kind that leaves no sound, only a heaviness behind the eyes. She noticed the mirror turned to face the wall, and without thinking too long about it, very gently, the way only children do things, she reached out and turned it back around. The girl looked into the cracked surface. Her reflection came back in two halves, warm and golden in the morning light. Each half incomplete on its own, but together making something she had not expected to see. She was quiet for a long moment, her eyes moving slowly over the fractured glass. Then she whispered, almost to herself, "You look like me." The mirror did not know what to say. In all the years of standing in that room, in all the mornings of being passed, and all the evenings of being avoided, nobody had ever looked into her cracks and seen themselves and smiled. She had spent so long believing that her brokenness was a flaw to hide, a reason to turn away, something that made her less than what a mirror was supposed to be. She had never once considered that it might be the very thing that made someone else feel less alone. The tiny golden light inside the crack glowed a little warmer that morning. Not because anything had been fixed. Nothing had been fixed. The crack was still there, exactly as it had always been. But something had shifted, quietly the way most important things do. Something had been seen. And what you call your crack, someone else may call their light. And perhaps that was enough. Have you ever felt like the cracked mirror? Tell me below.